So I'm going to have some fun with this little liar. He's doing some channeling, and he's going to be channeling the Elohim. I don't really know who that is, but I think isn't that like a name for God or something? I've kind of the Elohim. I'm sure that's some. We'll see.
Greetings. We are Elohim.
No, you're not.
This journey that you have embarked on as a human being is in a great transformational process. You're recognizing that you are significantly more than the individualized life that you have been living.
Actually, you're just a normal human being who wants to believe that you're better than everyone else, and so you are saying this because you know that anyone who is watching this and wants to believe that they are supposed to be living something better, supposed to be doing something better, they can look this and they can get some sort of false hope that by somehow believing that you're talking to some spirit that's not yourself, you are therefore giving information. No, you're just... Humans are always on a stage of development because you're always learning and you're always changing, but that's all it is.
This identity that has formed in this current time, in this current timeline, allows you to perceive life in a specific angle, in specific circumstances.
I guess that's true. I mean, you have... But it's not specific. You choose your direction on how you want to see something. I'm for example, I'm seeing this as just one big liar who's trying to just lie and try and make himself seem like he's something special, whilst giving people false hope about something, their full potential and who they really are and who they really could be. I don't actually know what this is doing, really, other than for me to just show how people can lie about anything. If you've got this guy who's literally saying, this isn't me, I've stepped out of my body and I'm now in the subconsciousness and I'm watching down on my body as my body is being used by something else, to me this is just evidence that people can lie and they don't give a shit. He is just saying whatever he wants to say, and he does not care about the fact that there is not a different person or a different entity inside his body right now. And I just think, how can you believe anything when you've got people like this doing things like this? Like, how can you believe... I can't believe anything. If there's a story about, I don't know, someone giving birth to 12 babies at a time, I don't believe it. Of course not. I think that woman's just like this guy who's just saying absolute shit and doesn't care.
Yet, the soul that you are has lived many lifetimes and perceives life in significantly expanded ways.
Now, see, if he was really talking to an intelligent being, he would actually say that, you know what, some people are actually living their first life as a human and some people are on their 20th life. And therefore, you can't just assume that every single person who's listening to this has many, many human lives, because that's not the truth. Maybe many people are watching this who are on their first human life. So, an intelligent being would recognize that would recognize that it's on camera, recognize that there could be a huge number of people watching this film, and they're from all sorts of births, and therefore wouldn't make statements that aren't true or might not be true for everyone.
The part of your soul that is able to perceive life and reality from this non-dual perspective can and will be activated as the energies on this earthly plane rise.
I can't even repeat what you just said. So the energies in your soul are going to be activated as something rises, they're talking shit, and yet they're not really making any sense or explaining what they mean. Your energies are going... I can't even... Let's just listen to what he said again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
This video's
energies on this earthly plane rise. Your perception of reality and your experience of reality will, as a result of this, change. Yet not without...
So as energies rise, your perception of reality changes. My perception of reality is that this world is full of liars that don't give a shit. Now that is my perspective. That's been my perception for a long time, and I don't think it will change. I can't see if my energy rises. I don't see. I can't see how I would see humans as anything more than just liars. A bunch of liars that just say shit. You know, I'm really fed up of just so many people thinking that they could. It's all been programmed. I think it came from Christianity, because people were brainwashed into believing that God is a male when God is not a male, and yet so many people, you know, would think, okay, it's fine, yeah, Jesus is God, blah blah blah, and then they've kind of been brought up to just think that it's completely fine to lie about things that aren't true. And now that you've got this whole UFO movement coming in, and the ideas of other things, people are just, it's like they've all been brainwashed to think that lying is completely fine. It's lying. It's fine to lie so long as you can convince people that you're telling the truth. I think that's the sort of the typical brainwashing and then to think that your view on reality will change as your energy rises, and as the conscious and the collective consciousness rises, you'll all gain a heightened sense of awareness, and you'll all be happier. Well, no, not necessarily, because sometimes heightened state of awareness makes you sadder and more depressed and more miserable, because you realize how shit this world is.
Challenge. The mind itself, the conditions, the perspectives, the unprocessed past, will desire to be understood and realized, so you can truly hold the expanded states of consciousness that are fueled by the rising energies of this earth.
I mean, just think about it. What he's talking about, your awareness and a sense of self will expand and arise. Just if you just lift your energies up, because all you need to do is lift your energies up, and then you'll get a higher sense of heightness and awareness and consciousness, and then he's just like literally just saying a whole bunch of fucking words, and just thinking that the more energy you have, the more high consciousness it is, and the more vibrations, the more frequencies, and let's see what other words we can use: spirituality and aliens and blah 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 blah. These people aren't even speaking anything truthful. They're not saying anything truthful. They're not saying anything that makes any sense. They're not saying anything that says anything logical. And yet he thinks he's talking for some sort of extremely intelligent being. It's just him and his pride and his ego and him thinking, you know, I can try and convince people that there's an intelligent being in me. Why? Because I want to believe that I am this intelligent being. And if I can convince people that there's a superly elohim, I don't know what that is that a god or something? If I can convince people that the elohim lives in my head, then I can convince people that I am the elohim. But I know that I can't tell people that, because they're going to call me insane. So instead I'm going to say that I've just allowed some other super intelligent being to enter into me. A super intelligent being would actually explain what she said, what it means when it says that heightened state of awareness and a bigger sense of consciousness, and we'll get into a new frequency of reality. What the fuck?
You are significantly more than you perceive to be.
No, you're not.
As the complexities of your being would overwhelm and challenge the mind, only the most necessary aspects of reality will be delivered to your conscious awareness.
Only the most effective senses of reality will be... What the fuck are you talking about? Only the most important parts of reality are going to come to your conscious mind. Is it saying that you're going to have a better memory? Are you going to get a clearer memory of things? Or I wish these people knew how much shit they talk.
Yet,
hello,
this, too,
hello,
is an expansion, and your conscious awareness is capable of perceiving more than it used to. Through practice, through presence, your perception of reality expands. Your perception of self expands. You start to notice the infinite nature of reality.
The infinite nature. So it's just forever. So what are you? I don't know what you're explaining. It says it expands. Your view on reality and your conscious awareness expands, and you start to hello, Emmy, hello, Emmy. See, this thing's far more interesting. Hello, Emmy. I cleaned the cage the other day. Oh, okay. Let's go back to this.
The eternal aspect of your being, the unconditional love of creation. You start to understand that life itself, even in its temporary nature, holds endless moments, chained together.
Endless moments chained together.
Exploration.
I didn't know that. So you have like a second, and then another second, and then what's after that? Oh, another second, and then is it a minute after that? Oh my gosh, there's a minute, and then you have another minute.
And realization. The ascension process of humanity will carry an accelerated process for all humans. Changes are part of life, yet the accelerated nature of change will challenge the mind, the heart, as well as the physical form, societal constructs, and the ecosystems established.
What are you supposed to make of this? Like the acceleration of change is going to accelerate. Okay. And like, what's going to happen? Like what would we just sit and just wait for the change or something? I don't even know what he's like. What's the teaching of this?
That will not withstand the test of time. Yet you are supported, you are guided, and in this,
you are supported, you are guided, but really, by who? What? I'm very confused.
Delivery. There is a word of encouragement, of empowerment, of possibility. That you are not alone, that you are loved, that you are...
Yeah, you are loved by the creature that calls itself Elohim and gives itself so much credit for itself, and just gives you a load of shit about how, oh, we're an accelerated path, we're on a path, and it's... I think people would be much happier if they just focused on reality, and maybe I should do that. I should stop winding myself up by watching things like this.